Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for constantly hearing us and then listening to our videos and then our live broadcasting. Happy weekend. Happy new week to other people in other places of the world. Well, this is an uploaded video. It's just basically again to bring to us what the Southwest people are saying about Peter Obi. In this video, a man actually analyzed the achievement of Mr. Peter Gregory, waiting Mr. Peter Obi do when he be governor for Anambra State. And it's just important to, honestly, when I hear this video, I did dumbfounded. But it is good to make every Nigerians listen to this video. And then after you listen, you go make your own choice. Peter Obi is a man that Nigerians should vote for and must ensure that he becomes the president of our country because he has every good thing to do for the country. Please sit back and listen. Thank you.
Not sure that Tinubu will be a choice for you to pick if you consider his predicament, his achievements, and the experience he has both in the private sector before he joined politics. Everything about him is too beautiful, and I'm sure that you will be able to be proud of him to be your candidate. So I am going to go ahead and do that in few minutes. Ẹ lè jábọ́ lẹ̀, ẹ lè sọra yín dànù kẹ́ já dànù kúrò níbi tẹ́ ẹ bá fẹ́ gbọ́ ní tí yín bá fẹ́ dì. But you don't have a choice anyway. You have to keep quiet and listen to me because we've been listening to you. You couldn't. All right, sir. You couldn't sponsor your
man tó ń defend Tinubu yìí. Ẹ bí pé kí ló ti benefit?
No, we are not going to ask him those questions anymore. This time is for us to sell our candidates. We are selling Peter Obi at this point. He has to listen. So let me give you who this person is. The man Peter Obi. Number one, he has a lot of experiences in the banking and finance sector. He was the youngest chairman of Nigerian Bank, that's Fidelity Bank. At the age of 34 years in 1994, he became the chairman and the highest shareholder of Fidelity Bank. He moved Fidelity Bank from Tier 3 to Tier 2. He led Fidelity Bank to Tier 2 status in year 2000. He set blueprint for Fidelity IPO. He led the groundwork for Fidelity Bank to go public in year 2005. And 17 years of consistent dividend, Fidelity Bank was paying dividend to all shareholders for 17 years before he left that position. There was no CBN bailout for Fidelity Bank when he was the chairman of Fidelity Bank because during the economic recession in Nigeria, virtually all banks were calling for CBN to bail them out. Fidelity Bank stand tall and became Tier 1 bank. It helped Fidelity Bank to be among the Nigerian Tier 1 banks alongside First Bank, UBA, Zenith Bank. He was the chairman, Guardian Express Mortgage Bank Limited, chairman, Future View Security Limited, Peter Obi, chairman, Paymaster Nigeria PLC, Peter Obi, director, Guardian Express Bank PLC, director, Charms Nigeria PLC. Charms Nigeria PLC is also in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. You can buy stock from Charms. You can make money. It's a telecommunication company. And he's also a director, Emerging Capital Limited, director, Card Center PLC, chairman, Board of Securities and Exchange Commission, that's SEC. While he was the Board of Securities and Exchange Commission, he was offered a lot of money, apartment. He refused. He was sleeping in his own private house, and he was given allowance. He at the same time refused to collect it. He was serving the country in those office, and he was the first Nigeria to not accept any of those allocations or allowances that is entitlement. And Peter Obi is the chairman, the CEO, Nest Nigeria International Limited. In the 1990s, he was the founder, Nest Cash and Carry. He built one of the Nigerian largest indigenous retail malls, expanded Nest International to UK. He opened branches in the UK in 1995. Nest International UK, they were making a revenue that was over £85 million annually. And he imported a lot of products into Nigeria. He headed a marketing management company that imported NX salad cream, Ovaltine. Please show love. I love TikTok. Well done. Thank you. Just comment. And he was the chairman, Nest International Nigeria Limited, leading international manufacturers and marketer of leather products. In professional membership and roles, So Peter Obi is a member Nigerian Economic Summit Group, member Nigerian Chartered Institute of Bankers, member British Institute of Directors, member Commonwealth Business Council, member West Africa Business Committee, member British Nigeria Business Council, member Nigerian South African Chamber of Commerce. Then, as a governor in Anambra State from 2006 to 2014, I'm going to read to you so that you can know who Peter Obi is. Peter Obi was known for rule of law, order, and discipline in government. He reduced the cost of governance. He cut ministries from 37 to 20 and merged parastatals to reduce duplication. He cut overhead cost, reduced official costs, banned siren for officials except in emergency situation. And that's the same thing that is happening in diaspora. When your governor is passing, you won't even know. When your mayor is passing, you won't know. Nobody blown siren like a Chris man, the way that Nigerian politicians are doing. Peter Obi said only emergency ambulance should move with siren, and that is the truth. Usually it's about buying mama to mama cause traffic for everywhere. The citizen employ him into office and is supposed to respect the office of the citizen, which is the highest office in the land, and not for you to block us into the buffet koja 177 enter 10 kukiri. He was doing a lot of personal engagement with development partners from inception to the delivery level. The same thing to Alex Otinsheni, Abia State. He ensured that he monitored the projects from budget delivery, budget allocation to the implementation, from the startup to the end. There was transparency with donor funds. He met the benchmark for transparency, accountability, and faithful use of donor funds. There was a peer review participation that was done, and Anambra State became the first state to undergo national peer review via the state's peer review mechanism with DFID. There was a lot of discipline in payment. You can go and verify at the period Peter Obi was the governor in Anambra State, no teacher, no civil servant, no pensioners, no contractors were owed gratuity, pension, salary, or certificate of payment as of December 2013. In education, he actually done a lot, and he returned 1,040 primary schools to original mission owners, the Catholic, the Anglican, back in Anambra State, and 6 billion naira grants was budgeted, released, and allocated for the return of schools. He funded rehabilitations of school until they meet standard in the country. He improved educational standard. He became known for improving standard across the state. He built vocational and technical education. That is, he was the one that established Anambra State Technical and Vocational Education Board. He renovated technical colleges and vocational training centers. He was awarded the best governor on educational award. Your president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, never received any award on education. Peter Obi was the best governor on education. Go and verify. He was awarded by National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria in 2014. He paid NECO exam fees for 148 inmates across correctional facilities in Anambra State. He gave the platform so that prison inmates could have opportunity to be educated. And then he donated to schools, 10 million naira to College of Health Technology in Newi, 5 million naira to Vocational Academy Ozumbulu, and he advocated education for inmates. Kenneth DK Library construction was done by him. He developed the Ngwari campus of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University with faculty buildings and road electrifications. Those are the things you can see and you can testify. There are evidence-based development that he did in Anambra State. Ejoemabawa tap, and then you can comment. You can give Queen roses while I continue to read this out. In the health sector, he established an Anambra State Health Insurance Scheme for affordable healthcare so that they can reach access to healthcare for people in Anambra State. Everybody should be able to have access to healthcare irrespective of your economic status. And that is the responsibility of our government. That's what we expect. That's the constitutional responsibility. He ensured there's free maternal and child healthcare services in Anambra State. That reduced the maternal and child rate of people in Anambra State. He constructed healthcare facilities across the state. There was accreditation of health institutions. We had about 12 institutions that were accredited by 2014. Before he became the governor in Anambra State, none among all of these accredited health facilities were accredited. But when he became the governor, it did the miracle. Anambra State University Teaching Hospital was completed and upgraded from Cottage Hospital on October 2009. And there was a Golden Jubilee Award in 2015 that was given to Peter Obi for contribution to healthcare at St. Charles Borromeo Hospital. Odumegu Ojukwu Teaching Hospital was developed by Peter Obi in Akwa. Modern lab facilities was added to the facilities. He developed consulting clinics, code rooms. They were all added to the teaching hospital, which never had it before now. That means if you need to do blood transfusion, it will be difficult because there's no cold room. If you need to take some vaccines, it will be difficult because there's no cold room. And so he also did partnership with missions in healthcare delivery. Lest I forget that Anambra State was rated at 26 before Peter Obi became a governor in education. But when he became a governor, for the last 3 years in his office, Anambra became the first consecutively in WAEC, in NECO. They had the best students in the history. Lagos was never first. Really, even while Bola Ahmed was there. Go and verify. Roads, bridges, and infrastructure. Peter Obi constructed the first flyover in Anambra State, Nkpo flyover. So he constructed and rehabilitated multiple roads and bridges, which also improve accessibility. Over 400 roads were constructed by his by Peter Obi, while 91 was done by his predecessor. Anambra State had 41 bridges, as at the time Peter Obi left office. There were 28 bridges constructed by Peter Obi himself out of those 41. So he took over and completed Old Enugu Road from the federal government. Pedestrian bridge was done at Unizik Junction. He rebuilt the bridge at Okwa Nkpagu Road. He built the Enugu Road, that's Agwoka Road. He completed the first phase of the State Secretarial Complex. He completed the second phase of the State Secretarial Complex. He built the first Secretarial Complex to scatter all the ministries, to house the scattered ministry. He commenced the 3-arm zone, the government house, legislative building, and judiciary building. He also constructed the Women Development Center. Lest I forget that Women Development Center was the first initiative of the wife of Babangida, Miriam Babangida, that established better life for rural women. And the wife of Sonny Abacha also took intervention. They were doing some of those things. While your first lady, Yawo Bola Ahmed, is distributing 50,000 for Akara and Kulikuli. So, Skill Acquisition Center was constructed. Ekweme Square development was done. And Peter Obi did the first poverty mapping in Nigeria. There was no governor, no state in the history of Nigeria that did the poverty mapping in order to reduce poverty in the country. But Peter Obi did for his state. And area mapping of Akwa was also done. He did the structural plan for Oka Capital Territory in Onitsha, Nnewi. Peter Obi attracted World Bank NEMP map for erosion and watershed management. Erosion control mechanism was put into place and water corporation was inaugurated. Hydrophone housing model was first done, which was the first in Nigerian modern history, using 95% of mud for affordable home for the poor masses. And he did a lot of youth empowerment and creative economic initiative. Anambra State Creative Arts Council was established by Peter Obi. So now let me tell you some little things about him. Peter Obi established the first sovereign wealth savings in sub-Saharan Africa. There's no state in the history of Africa where the state will keep money for future investment of the state. Peter Obi did it. Your father, when he was the governor of Lagos State, he actually put Lagos in debt. Gbèsè ló jẹ́ tó fi kúrò lórí oyè tó hand over fún Fashola. Peter Obi ò jẹ gbèsè, ó kówó lẹ̀, ó tún ṣe investment ìfọjọ́ iwájú Anambra. He left 500 million equivalent in investment, local foreign currency, and $156 million in bonds for Anambra. Anambra became the debt-free. In fact, that was the first state in the history of Nigeria to be a debt-free. Your father was the state that has the highest number of debts. Is on record. Go and fact check it. But Anambra was debt-free. No borrowing for bonds or for projects. Peter Obi made Anambra to become the least indebted state, rated by Nigerian Debt Management Office, DMO. Go and verify. Anambra State became the most financially stable state, rated by Nigerian Senate. He hosted ambassadors, high commissioners from US, from UK, from Russia, from European Union, South Africa, Belgium, Israel, Netherlands, Canada. That means he has that partnership with foreign government and it was more accessible. And Peter Obi ended the disparate state status. Anambra was blacklisted before his tenure. Anambra became the only state wọ́n ti máa ń jí governor gbé wọ́n máa ń jí governor gbé ní Ngige tó wà ní APC nísìn wọ́n jí gbé wọ́n kidnap odidi governor. Anambra was known for terrorism, for kidnapping, for banditry, but Peter Obi came in and all of those things disappeared. That is some of the characteristics you see in somebody that is carrying grace. Peter Obi is carrying too much grace that can cause sleepless nights to the camp of APC. He was the best state in development partnership, adjoined for commitment to reforms. He invested in Interfat beverages, sawmiller, and invested 1.95 billion investment, which also held about 407 million shares in international brewery for Anambra State. Ẹjọ́ share wo ni Lagos State ní bí ó jẹ́ gbèsè. Kàkà kí Lagos ní share lẹ́ni company, Tinubu ló ní share wọn àtàwọn family ẹ̀, then wá fi Lagos sí gbèsè. Ẹ lọ verify. Equity partnership model. He used savings to take about 10 to 20% equity in investment, like Chinese model. LG Electronic Training Center was built in Anambra State. That was the largest in Africa, in partnership with Peter Obi as the governor of Anambra State. Then he also gave enabling environment to Juhe Pharmaceutical that was commissioned in his tenure, that established parental drug factory to want to produce ogun to meet international standard, and that had the WHO pre-qualification license to produce all these medications. Ewo le nse leko, igbo lon ta leko. Wọ́n tin company tó ń produce ogun nígbà tí Tinubu wà ńbẹ̀. Igbo gbana nǹkan tó ń gbé nìyẹn. Anambra became an oil producing state during his tenure. Let's go to transparency. Accountability in savings investment. 48.6 billion Peter Obi saved in local currency. The evidence are there. You can fact check it. $156 million saved in dollar bonds. Evidence are there. Go and verify. Funds and mark for salaries. 2 years salary was covered for all new civil servants. To anybody will for work on. O set aside ni. I want Lagos State man gbé placard to man protest kan tó rówó oṣù gbà kan tó rí salary gbà ńgbà tí Bola Ahmed tó jẹ governor Lagos State. Peter Obi built funds. He established funds for hotels, for malls, for road. He set aside Aguli Onitsha hotels, Okwane malls. Critical roads were constructed. Long-term investments that will yield results in 2050 was established, structured to grow to $1 billion by 2030 at 6% interest rate. He has planned for the future of Anambra State. Even while he's no longer the governor of Anambra State, there's future and it has been secured for Anambra by single decision and his governorship. But in Lagos State, debt, Emerson gbèsè, títí ma fi kúlé kò gbèsè ní 100% gbèsè. 1,000 small-scale enterprises were targeted, were empowered, were developed, were supported by Peter Obi when he was the governor of Anambra State. He had a no-borrowing policy. There was no borrowing. He was not a loaner. He was not Ololo. He was not a chief loaner. He was not Oloni of Oni, like your own father, that came into office and started borrowing money as if there's no resources in Nigeria. Peter Obi achieved all the projects he did without single loan, no bonds. So there was public financial report that was done by the Accountant General Office and that was published annually. The Anambra State was debt-free. It cleared gratitude areas, no gratitude owned, no LG servants were owned, no civil servants were owned money. It cleared pension, arrears salaries, nobody was owned. Those are the things he did. And he became the best governor on prudent management, given by Nigerian Union of Journalists 2013. Wọ́n lè fún bàbá yín ní award yẹn kò gbà rí tó fi kúrò lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ 8 years. Best governor on education, I've said it. National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria, bàbá yín ò gbà tó fi kúrò ńbẹ̀. Best governor on MDG implementation, given by OSAP, MDGs, and UNDP. Your father no get that. He was the Silver Bed Man of the Year 2011. Your father never had it. UNDP recognition was given for MDG achievement in Anambra. Your father never got it. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation gave him Best Governor Award 2012. Your father never got it.
4 for F1, please.
4 for
F1. O shock them. O shock you one gidi. 4
Anyway.
for F1. Gbé dunlẹ̀.
At this point, point ẹ ṣe gan. Ẹ jẹ́ káwọn tó ní kò dé àti. Primary school that he went, he has classmates from primary school. They can verify, they can testify. He doesn't go to primary school with ghosts that have disappeared in the graveyard. He went to secondary school. The secondary school name is there. We have the name. He has classmates that can verify, that can testify, that can witness to the fact that Peter Obi went to school. He went to NYC. He has colleagues, he has mates that did NYC together. They can verify, they can testify. he went to university
classmates.
with baba yín ò ní classmates àwọn òkú ló bá lọ sí school wọn ò jẹ́ sí available, and Peter Obi has father, we know where his father is from, we can tell agboolé tó ti wá, kò ń ṣe bí ti bàbá yín tó dẹ́ pé ìyá mọ́gàjì lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ máa ń sọ story ẹ̀, bàbá yín ò ní bàbá àmọ́ bí tó ti jáde. Peter Obi has mother àmọ́ bí tí ìyá ẹ̀ ti wá, ó ṣerú kú wọn gbé lọ ṣerú lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ Òdùmọ̀tà, wọn gbàgbé ẹ̀ kó gba apẹ̀rẹ̀ àjàṣẹ́ látọ̀ṣun lọ sẹ́kọ̀ọ́. So Peter Obi is that man that you people don't know, and because he has too much grace, it's a confusion to all of you. And I think that Yoruba should know more about this man. And let me tell you something, the people in Igbo, they have this industrial revolution mindset. That is part of their culture, their heritage, and it should be a proud to Nigerians. So if this man becomes the president, there's every possibility that the economic revolution of Nigeria will be turned around. There will be employment, there will be a lot of things that is going to grow that country. And that is what we are waiting for, because we want a government that can provide electricity for the people, that can provide water access, that can provide access to healthcare service, universal coverage for people to have access to treatment care and support services, that can promote and expand our life so that people in Nigeria can live longer. Right now, Nigeria is one of the countries with the least life expectancy. We don't want that. We want a country where pregnant women can give birth without being afraid. You don't have to go to prayer house and be praying for God in order to go to surgery. You can go into the theater and come back successfully because there will be stable electricity supply. Surgery, generator. I mean, there's so much disaster that APC has brought, and you cannot compare that to what Peter Obi has to offer. If you are not joining the movie trail of NDC, it means you are brain dumb. Eshe?
You are useless.
Yes,
Also,
oh,